We've heard about this case before. This is the story of the child who called 911 from a grave. It was an ordinary day in the early hours of the morning when the operator received a series of frantic 911 calls. On the other end of the line was what sounded like a young boy who was crying and screaming for help. The boy explained that he had just been kidnapped by a stranger while he was walking to school. He said that the man had hit him over the head and thrown him into the trunk of a car. The boy also told the operator that he had managed to escape and was currently hiding in a nearby cemetery. At this point, the police had no idea if this was some kind of elaborate prank call or if there was actually a kidnapped child running around somewhere. They decided to investigate and see what they could find. While the police were searching for the boy, they ran his number through the system and got an exact location. The area was checked, and the police were surprised to find an abandoned car that matched the description given by the boy. There were signs that someone had been there recently, and the police believed that this was the crime scene. As the investigation continued, the police were able to piece together what had happened. It turned out that the boy had been kidnapped by a stranger. The suspect had taken him to an ATM and withdrawn a large sum of money before taking him to the cemetery. The boy had managed to escape and had called 911 from a payphone. When the police arrived at the cemetery, they searched for the boy, but he was nowhere to be found. All they found was his backpack. As they were about to give up hope, one of the officers noticed something strange. The ground had been disturbed near one of the graves, and upon further inspection, they found a small hole. The police used a camera to peer into the hole, and what they saw shocked them. It was the boy. He was buried under the concrete. The police quickly started digging up the grave, and the boy was eventually found. He was alive, but in critical condition. It turned out that the boy had been buried alive for several hours. He had somehow managed to survive and call 911 for help. In this case, the 911 operator and the police were able to save the life of a young boy. If it wasn't for their quick reactions, the boy may have died. Now, for the bizarre part. When the police checked the caller ID of the phone call, they were shocked to find that it was a number that belonged to a child who had died 5 years earlier and was buried in the same cemetery. The child's name was Kyle. His body had been donated to science when his family passed away. But how could he have called 911 from a grave? The police and the 911 operator both believed that they were responding to a legitimate emergency call. No one thought that it was a prank. Even when they traced the call back to a graveyard, they didn't think that it was a hoax. In fact, they were so convinced that the call was real that they dispatched multiple units to the cemetery. The police even brought in a cadaver dog, but it wasn't able to find anything. The entire incident remains a mystery to this day. So do you believe that this story is true? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to hear more crazy stories like this one, stay tuned.